Hulk Hogan to come out and protect him. Yeah. DiBiase with a metal chair and Macho Man wins. They're two of a kind. They're both scum.
It's not fair.
No, it isn't. Not right.
I totally agree with you. He should have got arrested. I mean, that's not fair.
Well, he's been stripped of his title. He'll never get it back again, and so at least we can be grateful of that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I agree with you with the...
bleached blonde.
when you were talking to the kid.
Yeah?
When you were talking to him, he was talking about Andre... You guys were talking about Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a real nice guy.
Yes, he is.
I talked to him before.
Fine man.
He is. He's a real nice guy.
Well, thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Take care. Andre, thanks you, too. Not as Mick in Tampa. Hi, Mick. You're on the air at WFLA.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon, Mick.
I thought I was a lifelong member of the club.
Well, you keep hanging up in the first hour.
I've only got limited access to a phone.
Oh, I only have limited access to a phone.
Well, I got Mick. This time, but I had to set you straight on this wrestling dilemma you've got here.
Well, what's the matter, Mick?
Well, this Andre, I call him a mutinous Goliath. You didn't catch him last week when he was beating up the Macho Man outside the ring?
Well, if he was beating up Macho Man must have deserved it.
And then the sweet Elizabeth went running for Hogan.
The hussy.
She almost slipped on her high heels, going for the Hulkster.
The hussy.
And he came back, and everybody ran. I don't understand this. Why are you siding with... Now, at one time, Andre was a good American person, but you see, he's got the powers of darkness working for him now.
He does not have the powers of darkness.
He's on the bad side now.
Even Bobby the Brain...
Bobby the Brain is a mutinous troll.
Has gotten away from Andre the Giant because Andre's just too good for him.
Too good?
I mean, anybody that Heenan won't affiliate with has got to be good.
No.
You have been blinded.
No.
By this entire public relations campaign.
It was last week. They occupied the rep.
Idolize this bleached blonde bum.
I don't like him
Crisco
either.
on his body.
No.
Probably even puts Crisco on parts of his body that are covered.
But
you know what I mean?
Andre, I don't think he has a brain in his head.
Crisco
He's being
and
led around by the brain, and he's being led down the wrong path. You see? And
if anybody's being led down the wrong path, Mick, it is you.
No. Robert, you didn't see it last week or the week before. I don't even know. I'm so confused. That he was just beating up on the Macho Man outside of the ring while...
was probably because of the way Macho Man treats Miss Elizabeth.
And then
any red-blooded man would beat up Macho Man for what he does to that poor woman, even though she is a hussy.
Andre never did things like this before you got with the Brain. Never.
What do you mean he never won before?
Well, that's
before he got with the Brain. It was because of the Brain's training that allowed Andre to defeat fair and square on Saturday night's main event.
Did the Brain have that bullhorn he always has?
What?
Did he have the bullhorn? Was he beating?
That's not the Brain. That's the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
No.
I don't even know what you're... Oh, man.
I'm so confused.
Somebody must have rammed your head into a ring post or something.
Huh?
Somebody must have rammed your head into a ring post.
No.
You think Hogan's a good guy, Andre's a bad guy? You think
it is, yes, most definitely.
Bobby the Brain Heenan's the one with a bullhorn?
All right, well, besides that, let's get off that track for a sec. I got to ask you something.
Yeah, what?
All right, about your club, not the club, the fan club?
Yeah.
All right, now, I was seriously contemplating joining it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I might be putting my family through ridicule myself. I don't know. What's in it for me if I join?
Not a damn thing.
Oh.
Absolutely, positively. Yeah, you get a fan club card. It's one of the most pathetic-looking things I've ever seen in my life. I don't think they've got more than $12 tied up in them. What's it entitle you to?
Do you take us out to lunch or anything?
It doesn't entitle you to anything. It's an ego trip for me.
Oh, well, that's all right. Oh? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have to apply, or is it just...
Of course you have to apply. You have to beg and plead.
Beg and plead?
And a $20 bill would probably help expedite it.
What, to me? You're going to send me a $20 bill?
What, are you kidding?
Oh,
somebody has run you into a ring post, haven't they?
Somewhere along the line, I'm sure I have, yeah. Okay.
Probably 6, 7, 8, 900 times even, maybe.
Yeah. Did you get your car aligned yet?
Did I get my car aligned? No, I didn't get my car aligned.
I told you need an alignment on your car.
I don't want an alignment on my car.
You need one. You're wearing your tires out.
So what?
Oh, all right.
I like buying new tires.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send my application in. I'll see what happens then.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Take care, Mick. Let's go to Greg in Largo. Hi, Greg. You're on the air at WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, Greg.
I'd like to see you in a wrestling match one time.
Well, it's okay with me, Greg.
I'd see you and Hulk Hogan go battle.
I'd mop up the floor with a bum.
That's why I want to see you battle Hulk Hogan one time, body slam.
Oh, 3-4 times easy.
The Mad Dog versus Hulk Hogan. That would be a title match.
Of course, you know, this guy, he doesn't wrestle fair because he covers himself with Crisco. How are you supposed to grab him?
Right, you can get him, Bob.
I'll get him.
Get him by his ear and body slam him and have it all made.
Right.
Hey, Bob, how can I get any... You got any tapes on your tapes? Do you save any of those tapes, or...
No, not as a general rule of thumb, I don't know.
I'd like to get that one you had on earlier in the show. You started the show off with...
No, sorry, is not available.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys.
Okay, great. You too.
Bye-bye.
Stephen in Tampa. Hi, Stephen. You're on the air, WFLA.
How you doing, Bob?
Great, Stephen.
Okay, listen, I come from Britain. I need to ask you a couple of things about the fight last night. I need to ask you one thing.
Yeah?
It was kind of a cheating fight.
Oh, of course it was, if you're talking about
bloody murder. I think Hulk Hogan's a little sissy.
Oh, he is.
His damn hair, you know
Do you know that this man has been the idol of American youth for a number of years, and finally, at last, someone has unseated him.
That's great.
But unfortunately, the man that they replaced him with is this guy, Macho Man.
Yeah.
Is not much better.
I mean, he's like a little sissy.
At least Macho Man doesn't cover himself with Crisco, but outside of that, there's not much to say for him.
Yeah. Another thing, I was talking to Andre the Giant.
Uh-huh.
One day, and, it was just after one of his fights. And he's a very, very, very nice man. Very intelligent, too. Yes. People say that he's like a cheat because but he had not, what do you call it, because he traded sides on Hulk Hogan.
He beat Hogan fair and square. All of America saw that.
I saw it. What was it? It was
It was even a slow count. 1, 2, 3. Slow count he beat him on.
They kept on saying that Hulk Hogan won with that 4 counts. I don't think so. I saw it looked more like at the arena. It looked like 2 counts.
Yes. Exactly. Andre kicked out of it.
Yeah. I think it was a total,
Well, it's one of the problems we have here in America, Stephen, that an awful lot of people just won't accept reality.
Right.
People want to see things the way they want them to be seen, not the way they really happened.
Uh-huh. I like the British bull, the dogs,
They're okay. I actually prefer,
I'd rather prefer Andre.
Volkov and the Sheik myself.
Yeah.
They're my favorite tag team wrestling.
I'd tell you one thing. Hulk Hogan's a cheat.
He is.
He's a sissy.
Common criminal.
Yeah. Listen, I just don't like the way he fights.
Jail.
I can't. I just couldn't put up with it,
Well, most young men don't like people who fight unfairly, and I'm glad that you're one of them, Stephen.
Right. I just don't like it. I think it's, Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
I've been watching wrestling since I was, little. When I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. People were telling me that it's fake. Is it fake?
Stephen, it's as real as I am.
Yeah, I heard you talking, it's as real as George Bush and Ronald Reagan.
That's right.
I think it really is real.
They're real.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it pains me. Ed in Clearwater. Hi, Ed. You're on the air, WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Hey, listen, back a couple of weeks ago, that's before I tore off the dial on the radio, as you say.
Yeah.
I was listening to the John Eastman show.
Oh, Ed.
I said it was before I tore off the dial.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, John was mentioning that the Tampa Bay area is becoming more sophisticated. No, not sophisticated. The word he used was cosmopolitan. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmopolitan.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your basic oxymoron.
Boy, I didn't realize that Eastman did drugs.
Well, listen, do you get the St. Pete Times, do you get the Clearwater Times in your St. Pete's paper?
No.
You don't get that?
No.
Okay, well, I do. And the top story on that in that section is famous family settles in the area. It seems that Jane Pauley has bought her parents a condo in Bel Air.
Yeah, actually, that story to that effect was in my paper this morning. I was even going to mention the big story in the St. Pete Times today. Jane Pauley buys her parents a condo. How do you feel about that?
I thought it really brought the area up.
Oh, I tell you, it really does.
Jane Pauley's parents are moving here.
Yes, indeed, all the way from Indiana.
Oh. Well, anyway, I thought that just went along with the...
come on. There are a lot of people that don't know about this article. It went into great detail. It said how much it cost. It said that they'd still spend 2 months a year in Indianapolis. Just on and on and on and on and on. The world's going to hell in a handbasket, and the St. Petersburg Times is talking about Jane Pauley's family moving here and the fact that she was here visiting last week and will come back again.
And that they have a 700-square-foot porch.
Exactly. I forgot all about that. It's a 1,400-square-foot condo on and on it.
The Chamber of Commerce, eat your heart out.
Everything you'd ever want to know about Gene Pauley's parents' condo was right there in the paper today.
Well, I'm glad to know we're getting cosmopolitan.
So am I.
Okay.
I know. It's going to cause the property values to go up immensely.
It sure is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Be good, Ed. One line open in Michael in Newport Richie. Hi, Michael. You're on the air, WFLA.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Afternoon, Michael.
I'm enjoying your show.
Well, thank you.
I wanted to change the subject for a bit.
Change the subject?
Yeah. I wanted your opinion about something. Recently in the news, I think it was last week or the week before, Joe Retna was on, the bail was set at $1 million.
Uh-huh.
And then there was this lady who killed her child with a 2x4, smacked him in the head, or her in the head. The kid died, and her bail was set at $300,000. Isn't that, where's the irony there?
Oh, you always see that. Not just with, Redner in the case that you bring up, but it's always that way. Every time I open the newspaper, I'll see the most hideous crime being committed and bail set at $10,200. And something relatively minor with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bail. I don't understand the system. I truly don't understand it. And at times, it just makes no sense, obviously.
Yeah, and then what happened was I always listen to the station WFLA, and I'm driving around in my car. I think it was a few days ago I heard that Joe Retton is a club. He decided after he got arrested 4 times that he would not try to open it again, so they dropped the thing down to $1,000, and he bailed himself out.
Amazing. Amazing, isn't it?
After he decided not to try to reopen it, and after the council, the day before he was going to open his club, the council changed the rules for zoning.
Well, I appreciate that. This is one of those really bitchy issues. Redner has a right to own a new dancing club.
Sure he does.
But the people in the community also have a right not to want one.
Well, I don't know,
I'm
Bob.
sure they do.
He's a businessman. I've been to his club in Tampa, the Tanya Lounge. And I like the entertainment, and those girls are all on the up and up. I mean, you can watch them dance nude, but if you try to proposition them, you can't do it.
Well, that's all fine and well, and I believe that. I want to believe it. I have to believe it. But the fact remains, if a community doesn't want a welding shop in it, it has the right to zone welding shops out of the community. And if a community does not want a new dancing establishment coming in, then the community has the right to zone it out of the community.
Well,
and you know that as well as I do, Michael.
I know you're right, but I'm just on his side anyway. But just to go back to the irony of it, he gets $1 million bail set at $1 million. Here's a woman that commits murder on a young child, and her bail is set at $300,000. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Okay, Bob, take care.
You too, Michael. 3 line 9, Tom in Hudson. Hi, Tom. You're on the air, WFLA.
Yeah, you were talking about having a nightmare. Let me tell you about mine.
I was?
Yeah, well, one person.
Oh, somebody was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raquel Welsh and my ex-wife were fighting over me one night.
No.
My ex-wife won.
Oh, man, that's a nightmare, I guess.
Bad one. Have a good day, sir.
Okay, Tom. 9 minutes for that. A long-distance call, too. Uncle Meat in Tampa. Uncle Meat, you're on the air, WFLA.
Your uncle's going to get you if you don't watch out, Bobby.
Really?
Bobby, I got to tell you about the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling. It was a pity.
Nikolai Volkov.
Was a pity when he left Atlantic City. The man's name is King Kong Bundy.
Well, I do like King Kong Bundy. I'm very fond of the King. I really think he should be the champion.
How would you like him on the ticket with Mike Dukakis, Vice President Bundy?
Well, what's wrong with Vice President Dukakis, President Bundy?
Hey, now you're thinking.
And besides that, Bundy even hangs around computers.
You got it. I love it. Love your show, Bobby.
Thank you, Uncle. Tom in a payphone. Tom, you're on the air at WFLA.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Doing fine, Tom.
I want to talk to you for a second about the World Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
It's rigged, Bob. I mean, you watched it, right? You saw when Andre was wrestling Hulk. Did you see that?
Of course I did.
Okay, now look. A chair got into the ring. Who was the first one to use the chair? Hulk Hogan. He hits Andre with it. Right then, Hogan should have been disqualified, not both of them.
Disqualified? He should have been thrown in jail, the bum.
That's right. So Andre should have advanced, and he should have been.
No, Andre is enough of a gentleman that he did not press charges. That's how decent this man is.
But he shouldn't have to. They're referees. They should know the rules. Hulk used it first. He should be out, and Andre should have advanced.
Well, if you saw Saturday night's main event, then you saw what Hogan really is, because if you saw that show, it ran, I think it was, March 5th or something like that, you saw Hogan's referee with a $100 bills actually falling out of his pocket. That's the kind of man Hogan is. He has bought the referees.
Oh, and I was thinking, you know when that wimpy macho man told that tart to go get Hulk?
Do you know I used to like Macho Man?
You know, no.
I'm so ashamed of myself.
He was always limp-wrist.
He really is.
No, anyways, didn't it take Elizabeth kind of a long time to get back to the ring?
Well, I guess maybe I hadn't thought of it that way.
You know, I think she's a bona fide tart. I think she is. I mean,
I can't be. Well, you know, I don't know what was going on back there, but you certainly do raise a very interesting issue, Tom.
All right. Let me ask you another question.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, you know when you hear the tone at 3 o'clock for the news?
Yeah.
Since there's a 7-second delay, is it 7 minutes after 3, or did you adjust that?
No, it's 7 seconds after.
Oh, so the tone's late. And one more thing.
Yes.
Okay. You know how? Well, this was a while back, but the whole thing you had with what's that guy on Channel 10?
Murphy in the morning, yeah.
All right, you were saying...
He's a very nice man.
You said all this whiny stuff, or, you know, you were talking about Cheryl Brown's promos and the whiny about the John Wilson.
Right.
Why do you guys now do that? I mean, Dr. Joe Sobel, and he's a weenie or whatever?
I have nothing to do with the promos.
Well, can't you talk to somebody?
I don't talk to anybody.
Why not, Bob?
Well, that's a long story.
I'd tell you, because I started hearing that, and I was like, I know Bob has nothing to do with this, because, I mean, you know, I started doing my newscast.
Do you know 1 week, or one Sunday about 3-4 weeks ago, we went out for brunch, and we sat down at a table, and I noticed the guy next to me staring at me. When this happens a lot, no big deal.
Yeah.
But he was very well dressed, and maybe in his mid-30s to early 40s, and he kept staring at me. And finally I looked up. Damned if it wasn't John Wilson, sitting at the very next table, uncomfortable as he could possibly be. Just as uncomfortable as he could possibly be. So really felt sorry for him. Hi, John.
Well, you must have been in the Pinellas side. Didn't he live on that side?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, because, you know.
Right, it was at at Harvey's 4th Street Cafe.
Oh.
I'll never forget the morning as long as I live.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you, I don't think much about you know, I want to challenge what's-his-face, that Murphy guy. He was playing highlight one day. What a wimp. He threw like a girl. I could kick his, you know what.
Well, I don't know about that, but,
so,
you know.
If he's listening, I'm challenging him to a highlight match right now.
He probably is.
I'll kick his butt.
Well, Murphy, call in and accept the challenge. Take care, Tom. Rick in Isla del Sol. Rick, you're on the air at WFLA.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon.
This is Rick. Do you know anybody who would like to buy some slightly used headphones?
Slightly used headphones? No, as a matter of fact, I don't.
Catalog of self-help books and Roger Christie's home phone number?
Roger Christie's home phone? Why would anybody want Roger Christie's home phone number?
I haven't the foggiest, but I'm
Neither do I. How you doing, Rick?
How's it going, Robert?
Fine, thank you. Rick Marin, formerly of WPLP, on the other line here. What's up, Rick?
Not a whole lot, Bob. Just wanted to call and say hi and keep up the good work.
Oh, okay. I'll do that, Rick.
I hate to be off the air right now. I had some exciting things lined up over there for next week. We were going to interview Bob Ulrich's Filipino houseboy, Raul.
Oh.
And the guy who invented bacon bits.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, Chuck Lang, the author of The Stepford Wives, Overly Assertive Women, or Just Republicans.
Oh, darn, you didn't get a chance to do any of that.
No.
Oh, pity, poo.
It was a total blowout.
Oh, well. Gee, I wonder who's on this afternoon.
I don't know. I really have no idea, but we can check it out.
Well, let's do that together.
Right.
Thank you, Rick.
Good talking to you, Bob.
Take care. Well, let's go to Rob in Pinellas Park. Hi there, Rob. You're on the air, WFLA.
Hi. I want to talk to you about the Hulk Hogan fight that y'all were talking about?
Yeah?
I totally disagree with you because if
Disagree with me?
Yes, because if that was just the opposite, wouldn't Ted DiBiase come in and...
But it wasn't the opposite. What do you mean, if it was? It was what you saw it. You saw Hulk Hogan, supposedly the idol of American youth, committing a criminal act to help his friend, Macho Man, steal the title from Andre and DiBiase. You saw that with your very own eyes, didn't you?
Okay, but if Hulk Hogan was talking to the referee during that match, don't you think Andre the Giant would do the same thing?
Of course not. Andre the Giant is an upstanding citizen.
Oh, he is?
Yes. A man known for his integrity.
A man that goes for the money.
Well, what do you mean? Everybody works for money.
That's all he wants is money.
He wants his rightful place as champion of the world. And he deserves it. He has worked hard. He has trained hard. He has been honest. He has been faithful. He has been thrifty, kind, loyal, trustworthy. He's a traitor.
He's a traitor.
He doesn't walk around with bleached blonde hair. What do you want? One of these, punks, punk rockers or something? You're into guys with bleached blonde hair and Crisco all over their bodies?
Well,
you walk around hitting people with chairs?
No, I don't. But him and Hulk Hogan were buddies. They were made for each other, and then here comes Bob.
Wait a second. Let me see if I can't straighten you out. Tim and Carol. Tim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Straighten this guy out, Tim.
I tell you now. Oh, were they buddies? Well, don't you remember just a while ago? I can tell you something. They were two bad enemies about 5 or 6 years ago before they came to the WWF. They fought brutal matches where I could tell you about many of them, but, they were just friends because, I don't know, some way they become friends. But Andre wanted his fair shake, and he never got it. That's the reason why.
That's right, Rob. Andre wised up and dumped the Hulkster.
Then he gets his shot and gives the belt to DiBiase.
Oh.
That's because he's a kind, generous man.
He's doing it for the money.
He was doing it because he's a kind, generous man, Rob. Can't you understand? Can't you understand that there's some people in this life who like to give, who like to share? Unlike Hogan, rather. I like Hogan better, actually. Huck Hogan. Can't you understand that, Rob? See, Andre the Giant is not an 80s man. Obviously, that bum Hogan is. He never tried to share or give anything to anybody. Except, the back of a chair.
That's true, too.
That's right. You see, don't you feel better, Rob? Now that you know the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, glad to help you guys out. Right. Bob, you're on the air at WFLA. Oh, Bob is the newest member of the Subbulent Pig Club. He cut out. Jeez. Pete in Tampa, your good fortune. Hi, Pete, you're on the air at WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Hi there, Pete.
I got to ask you a question.
Yeah?
Can you please, and then I'm going to hang up while you explain the answer, okay?
I'll try.
Okay, because I know you know what the answer to this is. If somebody calls, say you put a guy on the air, and he's listening to the radio, okay? Something that I always hear is, you're talking to the guy, he answers you, and then you hear the delay on the radio.
Right.
Can you explain that for us, please?
Sure, because they're too dumb to turn down the radio.
No, wait a minute. If you're on delay, and the guy is listening to the radio, we're talking about 7 seconds, then 7 more, then 7 more.
No, just 7.
Well, then how come if you're on delay and the guy answers you when you're on the phone?
I'm not on delay.
And you can hear in the background his radio going if you're on delay.
I'm not on delay.
You're not hearing him for 7 seconds.
I'm not on delay. The signal's on delay. I'm here real time. You and I are talking real time, but the signal is delayed 7 seconds before it is broadcast.
I know, and you can hear it in the background of some people who refuse to turn down their radio because they want to hear their own voice.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear them 7 seconds later. Sometimes you'll say, turn the radio down, and the guy says, I'm not listening to the radio, and then 7 seconds later you can hear in the background of his phone.
That's right, because they fib.
What?
That's because they're fibbing to me.
What's the deal on that? Can you explain that?
No, I can't, Pete, but thank you for asking nonetheless. Malcolm in Tampa. Hi, Malcolm. You're on the air, WFLA.
How you doing, Bob?
Fine, Mal.
I don't believe I'm taking time to call you where I'm at right now. Did he tell you where I'm calling from?
Well, no.
Oh, I'm calling from out here at Tanga Lounge.
Tanga Lounge?
Yeah.
Oh, you're putting me on,
I don't
Malcolm.
have a lot of time to talk, but I heard you were talking earlier about your fan club.
Yeah.
I mailed you in a letter about a month ago, and I mailed in my application.
Yeah.
And I never heard anything about it.
They haven't sent them out yet?
Do you remember it? You should have got it about a month
Well, actually,
ago.
if it comes in addressed to the fan club, I don't see it.
No, it should have came directly to you, and then I wanted you to carry it on over to them.
Well, that's probably what I did then.
Do you remember the picture of my car that I mailed into
you? You were talking about the rhinoceroses?
The limo.
Oh, the limo. Yes, I remember the limo. Yes, I do.
Do you remember when you went out for dinner? When I had it parked up there on 19?
Yes, I remember that.
You do? Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
Stuffed dog in the front seat and everything.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, I got to get back to lunch out here.
Okay, I'll try to track down and see what the problem is on that fan club.
I'd really like to get that letter from you. I've been waiting, you know what? I've been waiting a long time now.
Well, I'll see why they haven't been sent out. Okay,
Bob.
Take care,
All
Malcolm.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bob, how you doing?
Fine, Doug.
Hi. The tape that you played at, let's see, what time was that, 12, whatever?
Yeah.
That's what probably got me hooked on talk radio. That has to be the best call-in person you have ever had.
Mr. Astream.
That was great. Andre the Giant is just, besides being Mr. GQ, I guess you might say.
Well, he is quite a fashion plate, too, now that you mention it.
Yeah, he is. He's a trendsetter, definitely. But the other guy that's really good is Mr. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The guy, I guess he graduated probably from Yale or Harvard.
Well, he's not exactly one of my favorites, Doug. I don't wish to insult you, but, let's see, my favorites would be George the Animal Steel, Nikolai Volkov, and used to be Macho Man, but not anymore. And Macho's just hanging out with bad company. Bad company.
Well, he gave in to Elizabeth. Now he holds the rope down for her and everything. It's just...
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
He steps on the rope and lets her in the ring. That's just going to pot.
Oh, jeez.
But you know what you can get now for your computer since you have all that memory now?
Well, I'll have it tomorrow.
Oh, well, yeah. All those extra things on there.
Uh-huh.
You can get a wrestling program that you could make your own story up, just as they do.
Gee, is there a wrestling program available?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Whoa, farm out. Throw out the Apple Works and put in a wrestling program. All right.
That's it, boy. You'll be up nights, probably.
And days and weekends and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Boy, you could do...
Where can I get one?
Suplexes off the top rope and everything.
Where can I get one?
Shoot, I don't know. Anywhere. Any of the places. Any computer store.
I don't believe I've ever seen... Well, I don't normally look at the games, but I'll start looking now.
Oh, yeah. There's many of them. Many.
WWF people?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm sure they're simulated WWF people.
Well, that's what I meant.
They couldn't...
Emulated, I think, is the right word in computerese.
Well, yeah, if they put Andre on it, it would probably take 2 or 3 discs to put Andre on.
Oh, man, what fun I could have. Like, I could make George the Animal Steel the champion, and, it would be great.
Oh, yeah, it would be great.
I could come in and talk about it the next day.
Oh, yeah, so you could have your own match. And
well, maybe I could even bring the computer in.
What if you hooked it up to a modem and you could have matches with people on the air?
Oh, wow, I never thought about that. That would really, and then I could just kind of describe it, look at the screen and tell people what was going on.
Oh, yeah, it's endless.
Or maybe we could even network. Wow, we could get 100 people in on it.
Oh, it would be great. The largest tag team match ever.
Oh, hot damn, that would do wonders for the numbers.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Thank you for this information.
Oh, sure.
Take care.
Okay.
Tampa. Hi, Jim. You're on the air, WFLA.
Bob?
Yes, James.
Okay, first, I want to address that guy who called in from the payphone. He called Elizabeth a bona fide tart. Well, he is a bona fide fart. This woman is absolutely beautiful, one of the sweetest women you can come across. I mean,
I used to think the same way, Jim, but look who she hangs around with,
Well, listen, that guy is jealous. The only way he's ever get a woman like that is by paying for it, Bob. I'm telling you right now. And as far as that
Well, Jim, I think that's what he was implying, that that's the kind of woman she is, you know, the kind that you can hire.
That's the kind of woman he goes after, Bob. And, was it this little pansy Steve guy from England? He's been watching wrestling since he was 8 years old. The kid sounds like he's 9 years old now. I've been watching 15. This thing for 17 years. He says he's an authority about that. He calls Hogan a sissy. Yeah, he's an authority on sissies. The whole, that England country filled with sissies.
Sissy, 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 sissy,
yeah.
Sissy, sissy.
And like I was saying, Ted DiBiase, he's the one who brought that chair into the ring, and then you turn around and say, well, Hogan...
I saw it with my own eyes.
Hogan brought it in.
On the chair.
Hogan brought it in when Macho Man was wrestling. I'm talking about when Hogan was wrestling Andre. DiBiase brought that in. That eliminated.
He brought that chair in, Jim, to keep Andre from killing Hogan.
Yeah, right.
He was concerned about Hogan.
Bob. Turnabout is fair play.
Andre, now wait a second. Andre was overcome with emotion. And DiBiase brought the chair in to cool Andre down because he was afraid he was going to hurt Hogan.
Yeah,
that's what kind of a decent
Andre
man
the Giant is a fat 50-year-old man who couldn't beat my grandmother. Let me tell you something.
What do you mean he beat Hogan?
He couldn't. Oh, yeah, right. He beat Hogan. Hogan pinned him, and the referee had his back turned because of Virgil.
Andre kicked out of that, man.
Yeah, right. After about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. My eye. You were watching a replay of it, and they slowed it down.
Yeah, try again. I have it on tape. Anyhow, and Ted DiBiase, you're making observations about Elizabeth. Why don't you make one about Ted DiBiase? The guy hangs out with a muscular black man and a 7-foot white man. Why don't we make an observation about that, huh? The guy's a flaming faggot.
What do you mean? He's got to protect himself from guys that walk around covered in Crisco who try to beat up on people with chairs.
You don't see Hogan doing that.
Don't see Hogan doing what?
Walking around guys protecting him.
That's because nobody would protect him.
He's a wimp.
Nobody likes Hogan, man, except a bunch of misguided fans who don't understand.
I could kick DiBiase's ass across Tampa.
Oh, yeah, right. You and what other 400 guys?
Yeah, right. DiBiase, he would need 400 guys. That's the only way he'd get satisfaction, man.
Yeah, right. I'll bet your mother used to go to wrestling matches and carry a little umbrella, right?
Yeah, my mother
beat on
could kick
people.
your ass across Tampa Bay, too.
Oh, my mom can beat your mom. Yeah, right. Is this what this is going to degrade into?
No, you're the one who started degrading it.
I just told it like it was.
You told it the way you saw it, pal.
Exactly, and I saw it the way it was.
No, you saw it the way Bob Lassiter was probably seeing it through the bottom of a bottle.
You're just a die-hard Hulk Hogan loser.
No, you're just a paid-off flunky who's probably working for Ted DiBiase.
Oh, now I'm on DiBiase's payroll.
Damn right.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. DiBiase bought me off. Oh, please don't expose me to the audience. Please.
Why? You already have.
You are really pathetic. A man who stands there and tries to defend a goon who walks around bleached blonde hair.
Nothing but stood for the best things in the country. God, working out, staying healthy.
Exactly. Andre the Giant you're talking about now.
I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. Andre the Giant is a perfect example of what cellulite can do to a human being at the age of 50.
Wait a second. Do you respect Webb? Do you respect Ted Webb and his sports knowledge and his integrity in sports?
Why do you ask?
I'm asking, do you respect Ted Webb's integrity when it comes to sports? I mean, granted, when he's talking politics, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah,
but when it comes to sports,
wrestling is entertainment.
Wrestling
is entertainment.
Do you respect Webb's integrity?
He doesn't, to a certain degree.
Ted Webb's integrity.
To a certain degree.
Webb, tell this man that he's all wet.
So wet. DiBiase is, in my opinion, one of the most talented on the circuit today. And Hulk Hogan...
Possibly next, only outdone by Nikolai Volkov.
I would say they're probably 1 and 2, and I'm not sure there's an argument as to who's 1 and who's 2. Mm-hmm. Hogan is through. He's washed up. I wish all this crying would end. I mean, the guy has lost the title. Look, Andre beat him, and then he lost in the tournament when he tried to recapture the belt.
And on top of that, as I was trying to explain to this nerd on the phone who likes guys with bleached blonde hair, it was Ted DiBiase in the preliminary round who came in with a chair to keep Andre from killing Hogan.
He was just there to defend Hogan.
Right. I got news for you. DiBiase didn't come in there, Hogan would have ripped Andre's head off.
Yeah, right, uh-huh.
Yeah, I like to see
But you
Ted
still
Webb
believe
up
in the
person.
tooth fairy.
Why doesn't Ted Webb come up in front of me and tell me? I'll show him who's a wrestler.
He's sitting here right now.
Right here.
Fine. Yeah, well, where did you get your degree in sports? And,
He's questioning
your integrity now.
Yeah.
You know, I heard the argument with you earlier, so
I mean, Ted Webb is the most highly respected sports person in this market.
Where did he get his degree in journalism from?
He got his degree from years and years and years of personal study.
In the trenches, buddy.
Now Ted Webb knows nothing because you disagree with him just a few minutes ago. You respected his integrity.
You tell that man that I earned it the hard way. I have seen more black men naked in the showers after football and baseball games than you'll ever see watching.
Damn thing what he's talking about.
I can't hear what he's saying, Bobby.
It's just as well, Webb. He's trying to insult you.
Oh, yeah.
Just another flunky with a Hulk Hogan doll at home. Bet you got a Hulk Hogan doll at home, don't you?
No, you probably would.
Probably right on the nightstand.
I'll tell you what, my daughter's got two, and Andre beats the doll, too. So
probably kisses it goodnight, the last thing he does before he closes his eyes. Good night, Hulkster.
Yeah, what do you have, an Andre the Giant doll? You like those big dolls,
I've got an inflatable...
Yeah, you like those
Moolah
big
doll.
Men, don't you, Bob?
No, I like the fabulous Moolah.
That's a damn good one, too, buddy.
Oh, now he's going to question my manhood. Oh, this is great. Classic radio. Yeah, you disagree with the host, so you call him a fag. Why don't you say I'm fat, too?
Well, how come you never see him with a woman?
Never see who with a woman?
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase has his pick of any woman in the world. Any woman in her right mind would give anything to be his playmate for a night.
Right.
Or an hour, even.
That's the only way he'll get a
has
woman.
to pay for it. Right, here we go back again to has to pay for it, has to pay for
The
it.
guy has made it publicly known that he will buy anything. So, in my opinion, that includes women. And that's the only way he would get a woman, the guy who hangs out with two men.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't appreciate talent, Bobby, that's all.
No, he doesn't.
You guys don't have any.
This is beyond belief how he has degraded you, he has degraded me, simply because his favorite wrestling star, the one that he keeps on the nightstand right next to his bed, good night, Hulkster, just because his favorite wrestling star is finally where he belongs, at the bottom of the heap without his title.
Bottom line.
Before the end of the year's up.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back, right, yeah. Yeah, probably vote for Stassen, too, don't you?
No, well, who do you vote for, Lennon? Yeah.
Lennon?
Yeah, you're
Lennon. Now I'm a commie, too. A fat faggot communist because I don't like the Hulkster.
And I'm glad to hear you finally admit it.
Yeah, get off my phone, you jerk. WFLA.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Oh, great, Mike.
Listen, just want to throw my 2 cents in about all this. I think that in certain degrees, you're correct about your assumptions, and in certain degrees, other people are correct about their assumptions. Everybody's got to have their common idol. But I think it is time to change tenure. I'm trying to say the top banana in this whole menagerie of wrestling.
I think it really the rightful title holder should be, and I just do not understand why this man was not in the elimination, because he's just consistently been a winner all along, is Nikolai Volkov. I believe it is prejudice on the part of his nationality, which is, of course, as we all know, against every constitutional provision that we have in this country.
Well, I don't think you can deny anybody's athletic abilities, regardless of their race, creed, or color. But the Hogan, you watch Hogan, and he's down for the count. All of a sudden, he comes back, and you just wonder how much integrity the man really has.
Virtually none.
And that's kind of tough coming from a person that enjoys watching him.
What a disgusting sight for the youth of America to see this man coming into the ring, holding a metal folding chair, hitting poor DiBiase over the back as hard as he possibly could, while the referee was momentarily distracted. What a great sight for the youth of America to see.
Well, and now it gives you reason why tigers eat their young, I think.
There's only one better sight that the youth of America should see, and that is the sight of Hogan being led into the courtroom in shackles for this criminal behavior.
Well, I think that violence should be taken off TV, or that should be put on the main event late at night, where these little kids don't have to watch anything like that.
Well, that's for sure, especially anything that Hogan is involved in. I mean, is it any wonder that we have youth out there today with earrings and bleached hair and wild, weird costumes, it's because of this man. He is destroying this country.
Well, I used to live in California, and I've been to Santa Monica Beach, and I know what kind of guys are down there.
Well, the tragedy is this man doesn't live in California. He lives right here.
Yeah, but he used to spend a lot of time at Santa Monica Beach.
Well, he spends a lot of time in Indian Rocks Beach, too.
Okay. Well, maybe he ought to have his TMJ looked at.
He ought to have something checked out. Thank you.
Robert, good talking to you.
You too. Be good. Let us go off next to Mark in Tampa. Hi, Mark. You're on the air at WFLA.
How's it going, Bob?
Oh, great, Mark.
Yeah, Bob, I got news for that caller who called 2 calls ago. He's calling DiBiase and Andre and Virgil homosexuals.
He was even questioning Webb's integrity.
Bob, I'll have this guy know the last time the WWF was in town, I saw DiBiase, Andre the Giant, and Virgil in probably the biggest limousine I've ever seen in my life, and they had 3 of the most gorgeous women in that limousine with them. These girls made Elizabeth look like a dog, which she really is. They were gorgeous.
Well, he's just a sorehead. You could hear that from talking to him. Questions Webb's integrity, questions my masculinity.
Of course.
Right on down the road. This man's scraping at the bottom of the barrel because his idol, who he keeps on his nightstand next to him, is no longer the champion.
That's right. It's a sore sport. One other thing, Bob.
Yeah.
What happened with the honky-tonk man, the barber beefcake? Do you know? I have no idea.
Well, I didn't see any highlights of the match, but it's my understanding that somehow Honky Tonk Man, who of course is not a good singer, as you and I both know.
No, Bob, Bob, he's the greatest, let's face it. Elvis stole the Honky Tonk Man's whole act. Now, you know that's true, Bob.
I have to talk to morons day in and day out. I'm really getting sick and tired. The Honky Tonk Man can't sing. The Honky Tonk Man ain't much of a wrestler, but compared to his singing, he is the champ of wrestling. And he kept his title.
Have a good day, Bob.
You too, Mark. Morons, one after the other. Too long. Eight minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock, fourth final hour for Tuesday, April the 5th, 1988. Yeah, back to the phones we go. Larry in Tampa. Hi, Larry. You're on the air at WFLA.
Oh, Bob.
Yes, Larry.
How you doing?
Oh, great.
Woke me up. I have to apologize to Yvonne. She didn't put me to sleep. It was the guy before her.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, I know what else. The Airstream Man was great today, Bob.
Well, glad you enjoyed it, Larry.
And when you couple that with all this wrestling talk, it got me real curious if I could dig up an old tape that I made of the Lassiter group. Bob, we need a Lassiter group. Today's proven it.
Well, I've tried to form a new Lassiter group. I wanted, Harlow, Rose, Betsy, and there was a fourth person I had in that group, and I can't remember who the Brandon Brain Lady, I guess it was. I thought that would make a great new Lassiter group.
Brandon Brain Lady?
Yeah, Lois.
I don't know. I don't know how she'd work with Rose.
Well, I don't particularly care.
I don't know if the entertainment factor would be there, Bob.
Oh, I think, well, if it wasn't, then Betsy could strum her guitar.
Oh, there you go. Betsy's a much better option.
Yes.
Much better.
Of course, that's what Betsy wants to do. She wants to be a professional radio guitarist.
Bob, there's room for everybody.
No, there isn't.
Oh, come on. Betsy's not that big. Bob, last time I spoke to you was right as you were getting ready on one Saturday to head up north to the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
And that was the day that I started my 12,000-piece puzzle, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I've now finished 8,500 pieces of my 12,000-piece puzzle.
You've counted them?
I had to estimate. My dog's eaten a few.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that 8,500 is about proper.
Well, I think you should keep working at it, Larry.
Well, I need to, but I need the motivation that I can only get by listening to sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
And consequently, you had a man earlier today that was going to pay you $1.35 to get where you need to go.
Right, $1.35 to go to Boston.
$1.35?
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to send in something in excess of that, not in Canadian, but good old greenback, to get you to host a Lassiter group.
Well, as soon as I can get Betsy and the rest of them, I'll do it.
When does Betsy call in, usually?
Not anymore. I've banned her.
Oh, you banned her? No
wonder
why I haven't heard her recently.
That's right. But listen to everybody else's show, and you'll hear her there. Especially over in the morning show on PLP. She's the only one that calls.
But, Bob, it's not PLP anymore.
It will always be PLP.
No, someone popped their plop, and it's no longer. They got some crazy initials, Bob. I'm embarrassed for the marketing person who came up with that one.
No, it will always be PLP.
Well,
it's kind of like Allegheny Airlines. Remember Allegheny Airlines and they changed?
Still Allegheny Airlines.
That's right. They went to U.S. Air.
Doesn't mean anything.
You're still Allegheny. Well, you're still PLP.
Yeah. Well, I wish you well, and if I can do anything at all to help Betsy call in.
Oh, she's banned. I won't allow her to call in.
What about if we get...
Somebody should ban her.
Well, this is true.
I mean, if the talk show hosts in this market had any integrity whatsoever, there's a whole list of people that would never, ever, ever again be on the air. Tom from Lutz, pencil-necked lying geek that he is.
I agree.
I mean, he's not amusing. The man's a pathological liar. You can't trust anything he says. He makes things up as he's going along, and people treat him as though, he was for real, that he was actually a human being.
Well, that's not the case. I've got one thing that, if you could block this out from all the listeners, I'd appreciate it. Whatever happened to our two fundamentalist friends?
Which two?
The two prudes.
Are you talking about Jacob and Irma?
Jake, there you go.
Well, I've heard rumors that Jacob actually called Ted Webb yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
They didn't elope or anything, did they?
No, I don't believe so. No, Ted's not marrying Jacob.
I didn't mean Ted.
Well, I know.
Irma.
I've
seen
I don't
Irma
know.
Before. Bob, I've seen Irma before.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
Oh, okay.
And it just always amazed me in the fall what she ever saw in Jacob.
Well, I suppose it was the demon.
He may be a Bible thumper, but she's not.
Well, we don't know what Irma's thumping. Oh. Thank you, Larry.
All right, see you, Bob.
Take care, 12. Willard in Land O'Lakes. Hi there, Willard. You're on the air, WFLA.
Hi, Bob.
Hi there, Willard.
Yeah, I'm first-time caller.
Hey, I want to thank you for taking time out from your busy volleyball game to call in.
Yeah, right. Well, it's hard playing volleyball in the car on the way home from work.
Wait a second.
I got the job.
Wait. I have to explain something. My producer is not apparently very swift.
Oh.
There is a nudist camp in Land O'Lakes, and nudists are renowned for playing volleyball.
Oh, that's about a mile away.
Right, Willard, of course. We know that you don't hang out at the nudist colony there. Of course not.
Well, the walls are pretty tall,
I'll bet they are.
But anyway, this is my birthday.
How much you have tied up in ladders, Willard?
Well, not too much.
Not too much. Okay, that's good.
A little balloon ride every once in a while.
Did I hear you say it's your birthday?
Yeah, I'm 39. Is there life after 39?
39. Not much.
I think I may be the last person ever named Willard.
Well, look what it's done for Scott, though.
Look what it did for the movie.
Well, that's true, too.
But,
I hadn't really thought of that.
The only reason I called, because it was my birthday. No, really, I thought this wrestling show was a real riot. I just had to pitch it. I'm not a big fan. I don't know if,
Well, what side do you come down on here, Willard?
Oh, I like to go a little bit with the outrageous, There's kind of a love-hate affair with wrestling, You can't really tell if it's for real.
You're not implying that you're a Hulk Hogan fan?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I have better hearing.
I mean, I really would hate to be rude and nasty to a man on his birthday, but...
No, I like guys that don't bleach their hair and don't pretend to be...
You like guys?
Well, I mean, I like let's say wrestlers that... that don't bleach their hair and don't pretend to be nice guys when they aren't.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Watching them.
I see what you mean. I was a little confused there for a moment. I was getting worried.
Yeah. Well, anyway, somebody like the One-Man Gang, really sharp-looking character.
He is. He really is. You want to talk about GQ.
I know you like Nikolai Volkov, but he's got kind of a punk haircut, too, He's got the...
Well, he just keeps it short, That's probably... It's a professional consideration. Exactly. Because who does Volkov always wrestle? The so-called good guys. And what do the good guys do? The first thing they do when they get in trouble is grab for a handful of hair.
Yeah. I saw Mr. Volkov at the airport one day, walked up to him and said, "Hi, Mr. Volkov," and they didn't even talk to me, so I thought that was great. He really isn't a nice guy, so he can be a legitimate hero here.
You must understand when you're in the public eye, people are constantly coming up to you and trying to be friendly. He's a very nice man, and he probably just thought that, probably thought you're a Hulk Hogan fan, and, we're trying to give him some grief or something.
Yeah, I realized that, but I thought it was pretty cool just to...
What a voice he has, too. God, I wish he'd put out an album.
Yeah, he's great.
He really is. When I hear that man sing, it just gives me goosebumps. Goosebumps up and down.
He's
all over the
got
place.
a great voice.
Places I wouldn't even want to admit to having goosebumps, but I get them.
But I get a big kick out of wrestling. It's great show business. You know, it's also obviously big business. I just can't understand why you never see anything in the sports page on the odds, you know. The odds makers don't seem to pick up on all this action.
Well,
What's happening?
Well, that's I think it's probably a conspiracy, actually.
Oh, yeah.
There's possibly no other explanation except that it's a conspiracy against wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
On the part of, the blue-blooded sports writers who like to write about things like lacrosse.
Yeah.
And women's field hockey. Yeah, it's real sports there.
Would never report on those, right?
Of course not.
I think so.
Of course not. Thank you, Willard.
You're welcome. See you later.
Tony in St. Petersburg. Hi, Tony. You're on the air.
Yeah, I was just calling about the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Everybody says they cheat. I don't think they cheat.
Doesn't make any difference. They're not in the WWF. If they were good, they'd be in the WWF.
Nah, if they was good, they'd be in the NWA.
Oh, right. Yeah, the minor league of wrestling.
Well,
There's such great stars there.
Ric Flair still holds the belt.
Yeah, sure. Who cares about the NWA belt? That's not the belt to hold. If Ric Flair was good, he'd be in the WWF.
No, if anybody was good, they'd be in NWA.
Oh, yeah, sure, right. So they could wrestle in small arenas in Forsyth County, Georgia, and Lutz, Florida.
Yeah, but, well, all I know is Dusty Rhodes and them ain't.
It's on the radio.
WWF ain't very good.
Yeah, right. Of course, Tony. Thanks so much for taking part in the show. I think that was Tony's attendant in the background trying to, calling back into the ward. Julio in Lutz. Julio, you're on the air, WFLA.
Oh, no, Bob. Now, if you had a chance to make a dream match, which two wrestlers would you put together to make your best dream match?
My best dream match? Probably the one-man gang and the Fabulous Moolah.
Oh, you got a different idea, don't you? One-man gang will take care of her pretty quick. Wipe her out.
Hey, look, I don't knock your dreams, kid. Don't knock mine. Dave in Tampa. Dave, you're on the air, WFLA.
Yeah, Mr. Lassiter, I had to kind of change my voice and my name there so I don't give myself away here. I was listening to this, and I used to be involved in that business, and I did some promotions, and I knew that the Hulkster was going down simply because he's
washed up. Everybody knows that. He's been washed up for ages.
But let me tell you, the man that was supposed to replace it was not the Macho Man. It was they was grooming this guy, the cheesecake and drag, the Brutus the Barber Beefcake. They did an article on this guy.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake? Are you serious?
Let me tell you, Mr. Lassiter, I'm in the business. They were grooming the man because they thought he could carry the market, but they did a survey, and the man could not carry the market.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Give me a break.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I'm serious. If they had a little class, now I'm going to say something now that you would disagree with. I pretty much tune into WWF, but if they want a good guy, they'd go out and get somebody with the voice and the character of Ric Flair, because there's Major League there.
Major League? Another bleached blonde with acne.
Well, no, what I'm saying is...
Hogan doesn't have pimples on his face.
No, I'm saying a guy like Ric Flair. You got to be able to carry the market. You got to be a bad guy.
The only guy like Ric Flair I can think of is George Bush.
Well, there you go. You got the market cornered right there, buddy. You get a guy like that nobody likes, the kind of guy you love to hate, that could talk, and that's afraid of no one, and you just love to hate him. He could carry the market. But I tell you, I'm really afraid that the Hulkster will be champion again. I'm really afraid. If you ask me, I would go with somebody. Nikolai Volkov. You're right about that. The guy killed me.
Well, all they have to do to keep Hulk Hogan from being champion again is don't have any metal folding chairs in the arena.
I look at that, and you know who cracks me up, and I got a chance to meet this guy in person, and when I found out that he was going to be a manager in WWF, it just killed me. That guy, the Slickster, isn't he a character?
He's a fine man. What's the matter with him?
Huh?
He's a fine man. Obviously knows a great deal about the business. What's the matter with him?
Oh, well, when he puts his teeth in, he's fine. I mean, I'm the kind of guy,
When he puts his teeth in, what's that mean?
It's a long story. If he ever heard this, he'd know what I was talking about. But, you know, I kind of go with the good guys finish last in my book. And Hulk Hogan is the most expensive wrestler there is to secure. And he was making promoters mad all over the world. The guy couldn't carry the market. So they had to go out and they found this wimp that carried this woman around on his shoulder. And now he's opening up the ring ropes for her. And that's going to be his downfall. That is going to be his downfall. But I tell you, Ted DiBiase could never carry the market area. I'd have to go with the one-man game.
Is a great wrestler.
He is.
A fine American.
He is. But he could not carry the market.
What a great example for American youth. A boy who rose up from the ashes and made his money and did it fair and square. I just can't think of a better example for American youth, with the possible exception, of course, of Andre the Giant.
The one-man game, that's the guy that could carry the market. If he knew how to talk, and if he was just a little bit more weirder and a little bit more flamboyant, he could carry the market.
Well, you know, his time will come. You know, he needs a little more seasoning.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's not as suave yet as, you know, somebody like DiBiase.
Yeah, you know, they were grooming the Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, never.
I kid you not, they weren't. I'd rather go with the honky-tonk man.
I think I'd rather go with the honky-tonk man, too.
I just wanted to give you that insight, and if you were to put Hulk Hogan up against Ric Flair, who'd you think would win?
Nobody in that case.
Okay, guys, nice talking to you.
You've been in Tampa. Hi, Dave. You're on the air, WFLA.
Hi, Bob. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Bob, I'm going to give you an exclusive here.
An exclusive?
325. You're going to have exclusive information here about the Hulkster, why the Hulkster will not return to championship form.
That's because he's washed up, man. Everybody knows that.
No. The Hulkster has been champ for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's time to step down.
Well, of course, when you're washed up, it's time to step down, right?
He's not washed up.
Not washed
it's
up.
Time. Bob, the Hulkster's going to be a dad.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
He is.
Uh-huh.
He's going to have a little kid.
Oh, what woman would possibly... Oh, I can't even...
It's true.
No. No, impossible.
He's got a cute little what? No, he really does. And he's going to have a little Hulkster, if that's
He's got
possible.
a cute little what?
Wife.
Oh.
And he's going to be a dad, and he's going to spend more time and raise his kids.
Oh, he's going to have a lot of free time now because he's finished. Right. He's washed up.
Well, he's washed up because there's no way he can come back.
Of course not. Not with the talent in that organization. There's no way he can come back. You're right.
But
unless he carries a metal chair with him all the time.
But do you know what happened? Do you know exactly what the chair did that caused? Was they just banging it over each other's head that caused them to get disqualified?
No, I didn't see that match. It's my understanding that what actually happened, though, is that Andre was on the verge of he was just really beating up on the Hulk, and the Ted DiBiase came into the ring with a chair to kind of cool the Giant down. That's my understanding of what really happened. And then, of course, the referee misunderstood the intentions involved here and then disqualified him.
I see. Well, I just wanted to your fans out there and the Hulkster's fans out there can just say they heard it first on the Bob Lassiter show that it should be any time soon, as a matter of fact, that the Hulkster will have a little Hulkster.
Well, I thank you very much.
All righty.
Man's just washed up. Just washed up. Jack in St. Petersburg. Hi, Jack. You're on the air, WFLA.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, Jack.
I never have a chance to call you. I'm home this week recuperating from eye surgery. And I just hope to God that my eye surgeon, my eye doctor, did a better job on me than the radio doctor on the other station. I can't even believe whatever happened over there. My suspicions began when they were putting TV news on the 6 o'clock drive home time, when, if you think about it, you're listening to the radio and you are broadcasting TV news, there are captions as to who's saying what. I almost felt like the hearing impaired or the eye impaired.
Well, the captions are one thing. It always got me when they used to say, and as you can see.
Well, but what I'm saying is, for example, a sports person is on. Well, the TV will put under there the name of the person who's talking.
Mm-hmm.
You can't capture that on a radio. As far as the morning thing is concerned, if we're not altogether the geriatric set, I don't want to get up in the morning and listen to a talk show. I want to hear what happened last night. I'm going to climb in my car. I have no opportunity to call. It's totally dumb. There are things out there called radio doctors, are there not?
Well, yes. Well, they're basically called consultants, and most bad stations have one.
Well, I think that radio doctor ought to be retired, because it's...
They don't have one. They're doing this all on their own. No, actually, we sat around last week, some former employees, and we decided just exactly what the problem is at PLP, because PLP has had serious problems since the day it went on the air, and we have concluded the only possible explanation for what goes on in that building is that, of course, as many people know, PLP is located at the end of a dirt road in the middle of a swamp. And that's true, too, by the way. It's not an exaggeration. But PLP, the building, the actual physical building, must have been built over an Indian burial ground. There can be no other explanation for what happens in that building.
You know, I really enjoy... I've been to that station. You know, radio waves are radio waves, but that's pretty neat. I guess it was. But what I thought was a highly competitive station, and you were there and believed in it, evidently at the time you took your contract. I don't know exactly what has happened to that station, burial mounds or not, which I'm taking, as you're saying, tongue-in-cheek. To be serious, I have never seen the demise of a viable instrument in a growing area as fast as I have seen that station go. And I was a fan of WPLP. I'm still a fan of John Eastman.
Well, it's just a whole different philosophy, and it's just not going to work. It's been done in this market before, but the new guys in town don't know it yet. They'll find out.
Well,
Jack?
Where they came from, Bob, I haven't the foggiest.
Left field. Jack, I've got to run.
Okay.
Thank you. To John in Tampa. Hi, John. You're on the air at WFLA.
Hello, Mr. Lassiter. How are you today?
Fine, John.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you that I love your show. And, man, I've been waiting for you to do a show like this for so long.
Yeah?
And all this wrestling talk is just making me wet in my pants. But first, I'd just like to tell you that you're a prepubescent moron, and this is all a bunch of drivel. What do you think about